Who would have known that it would be a mainstream TCG that kills your store and channel?
The odds of that were incredible.
That was not on the betting sheet. That one was the underdog. Hashtag wouldn't subscribe to your OnlyFans.
Let's go.
No, that was recorded. Welcome to MTZWBY with you, America's most burnt toastiest TCG podcast, where we discuss Tay-Tay and Magicthegathering and other card games. I am, of course, joined by the man who has the tallest of boys, Josh.
Is that a comment on my beer? I hope that's a comment on my beer. What are we talking about?
That one seems inappropriate.
I am also joined by the burnt toast man himself, who apparently sends us topics, tells us we need to discuss it and come prepared, then forgets he sent them out altogether. Louis to George.
And we are joined by George, the best store owner in the country, the person who knows the most about his store and the whereabouts of it.
He almost knew the address one time. It was wild.
He doesn't know his passwords to get into anything.
No.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering podcast. MTZWBY with you. We're so glad you're here. Thank you to the 10,000 subscribers to our podcast. You guys rock. Thank you for being here. And today we're going to be chatting a lot about Lord of the Rings. We're going to talk specifically about the fake one-of-one rings. We're going to talk about $3 million in sales. Josh counted up every single box on TCG Player by hand. He did his math with his fingers. He said 4 + 6 is 10.
That's how you know it's wrong.
Yeah. We're going to talk about $450 boxes, and is that too high or too low? We're going to talk about Pokemon today, finally. Talking about the 151 set. We're going to talk about the hopes for the Cryptic Van Tour.
Are we really not covering the topic you sent us?
No, we're not. We're going to talk
We're covering it, George. He just doesn't know it yet. We're covering it. We're covering it. He doesn't know it yet.
We're going to talk about sorcery curio cards, and then we're going to talk about the Flame Tower from Metazoo. So let's get in. And
before we get to that, Louis, I want to congratulate you on your 10,000 subscribers. I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
What game do you think we can get you banned from to bring you back down so we can celebrate it again as per MTZWBY with you tradition?
Do we need to start season 3 at some point?
Absolutely.
Like, it seems like
it's been a great ride, boys.
Oh man, it's about the same number of weeks. We're about average. So
is that true?
Yeah.
And
the second thing is I want to congratulate you, but I also want to congratulate Taylor Swift, who set the record for the most people ever in the stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We want to give a big shout out to Tay-Tay, like 72,000 people. So congratulations to you for your 10,000 subscribers.
That's fine.
7 times more congratulations for Tay-Tay for that one night. Having 72,000 people there.
And she blew us off. She was supposed to be here tonight, but she was just so busy.
She was so upset. Well, you sent her that group text and then you ignored it, her replies, and she didn't respond after that. It was complicating.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Wait, so how do you set a record? Isn't there like a venue capacity?
But
not when you're Taylor Swift. What?
Yeah.
I don't think she follows fire marshal rules.
Yes. So just like void the fire marshal's capacity limits.
She should. She shouldn't have to follow our rules.
Yeah, you get to open sorcery boxes before they come to America, and you only have 10K. What do you think she gets to do?
Okay, are you guys ready to move on from that? I hate it when we talk about Taylor Swift.
I know. I want you to know I wouldn't do it if you didn't hate it so much.
The more we talk about her, the less she's actually ever going to be on the podcast.
There's no number less than 0. There's no number less than 0.
Yeah, my fingers don't go that low.
No, I can think of one game designer that's less likely to come on than Tay-Tay. That is the list of people who will never come on the podcast.
Neither of them are invited. All right, here we go.
Fake Twissad.
Fake one. All right.
The okie doke. The switcheroo.
Never saw it coming. You never saw it coming.
All right. Josh has been tagging me on Twitter on every single poll of a one-of-one card, claiming to me that this is the real card. claiming to me that this is the one. This one looks.
That is literally
one
not
looks
true. That's
I want
literally
to know
not
I
true.
can believe that though.
That's literally not true.
You want to show? You want to reveal the DMs?
What?
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to
I do.
work Twitter.
I want to see the DMs.
I don't know how to work Twitter. All right, so we saw a couple of people claiming to pull the card. The question here is how many fakes will we see before the real 1-of-1 card gets pulled?
Okay.
There are two acceptable answers to this question.
Is one of them a billion?
No.
Then your numbers are wrong.
You think we're going to see a billion fakes? Listen,
I just put
listen. I
7
track a
up on the
lot of
screen.
sales data. You think we're going to see a billion
Wait,
fakes?
Does TCG Player have the 1-of-1 card on TCG Player?
Is there a slot for it? I've never even looked. I've never thought
like
to look.
30 listings of it.
How do they not have that? Do they not know it exists?
Okay,
Damn it,
if
eBay.
you guys
hold
pull
on.
it, are you selling
They
it on
have
TCG Player?
Wait, hold on. This is way more important. They have an article that says the cards everyone wants from Lord of the Rings Middle Earth. Do they not have the card that everybody wants listed?
Listen, I'm going to soften. I'm going to soften the blow a little bit. I'm going to soften the blow. I don't want it.
Okay.
If I say I don't want it, then I won't be disappointed when I don't pull it.
Okay. So let's go over things. How will we know there's a real one? And I want to get into a crazy conspiracy theory somebody told me that I actually would think is hype, but I don't believe it.
Okay.
So there will be three things. One of three things will happen that will tell me it's the real one. WotC will say it's the real one.
There needs to be two other things.
PSA. Well, no, say one of these three things.
Okay. Okay.
PSA will say it's the real one, or BGS will say it's the real one. If anybody else says they have the real one, I do not believe them.
You guys are so not on board my free trip to Australia game plan, and I hate it. I hate it.
It's New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand.
Country.
Right. It is
the same exact country.
Not the same exact country, but you are so not on board my game plan. Whatever that grading company is could say it's the real one too.
I don't know that grading companies matter. Like, they don't have anything to compare it to.
I think they probably have a line to WotC that could bring someone in.
They have Chris Cox's number.
I think two of the three we've talked about have a line to WotC where they could bring someone in.
Correct.
So somebody told me that when this is speculation. I can't
believe
afford,
you.
It's fact right here. Kitchen Table TCG. Subscribe.
Nothing proves
Scoopies.
more to me. Nothing proves more to me of this set than I can't afford to get banned from Magic the Gathering. So this is just pure speculation. Okay.
I'm willing to guarantee it on your channel.
That they had some card issues in like Double Masters, the first Double Masters. Yeah, Double Masters. And I had
more confidence.
I had a brain fart. And that they reached out to Wizards, and Wizards said, send us the code on the wrapping, the booster pack.
Yeah.
And that there was in the seal of the booster pack, there was a code. And that so their thought, I'm not buying this, I'm just adding to our dialogue. Their thought is that Wizards actually knows what pack is in, and then they could verify and say, oh, you say you pulled it? Well, tell us what code was in the pack.
That's not super far-fetched.
That's not crazy to me.
That's not the most far-fetched thing in the world.
I suspect they would at least know like what printer it was printed in.
There's only one printer, right?
Yeah.
There might be. I don't know.
There's only
no Magic cards get printed at a couple different places because the card quality changes based on where.
Yeah, but the only box, the way they've done collector boxes in the past 2 or 3 sets has been they've only come from one printing facility.
Okay, so maybe all the collector.
This came from the Texas facility. That's important because the Japanese print is higher quality.
All right. What happens if this ends up in a Cryptic box?
And what happens if you ruin it when you push it out the top of the bag?
Oh my God, Louis gonna fist the One Ring.
I think in order for me, in order for me to think that this is authentic, I want to see it pulled on video. Like, I think that's important.
That's insanity. That's insanity.
I don't think that's a fair expectation, because as we've said, most of the Magic community, there's a good portion somebody pulls this and doesn't even know what it is, right?
That's
the chance
my
that somebody
favorite.
pulls it,
I
knows
love
what it
that
is,
so much.
and is on video.
I love
I
that
don't
take
know.
so much. I guess that there's just something about me. I like watching the world burn. I want this card to be pulled in like a 8-year-old's pack that their grandma buys them because she sees Lord of the Rings, and the kid and the grandma has no clue what Magic the Gathering is, and that 8-year-old pulls it and it sits in a binder for 40 years and gets thrown in a landfill, and then we find it in a landfill. Like, I
It's
love that.
it's printed in Texas, and I think that's where we found the rest of the Magic in a landfill. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh man,
One
George, that was
step
your,
removed.
that was your MH2.
I still have my MH2.
the second most printed set of all time.
Still number one, baby. Still number one. Still number one for right now.
Okay, so do you think the 101's been pulled and they're just not sharing it?
I don't think so.
No, I think the grading company would be the first to share it.
I don't think it has been, because I also think, like, yes, during pre-release there's a bunch of hype, but I think the majority of the boxes to be opened will be open in the coming week as of the official release.
Okay,
It's only two for collectors.
I want to go back to what George said, and then Josh, we can pick back off that. You think if I pull this card and I don't tell anybody, and I rush it to PSA, let's say I live in
PSA land.
Los Angeles. I can't remember the exact name of the place I ship things to PSA. Let's say I live in Los Angeles. I pull the card. I drive it to PSA headquarters. I don't tell anybody. Does PSA have the right to be like, "Hey, everyone, here's the card"?
I don't think they have the right. I don't think they would do that, though. But I think they would kind of lean on you to be like, "Hey, let's tell people we created the one card." That'd be a huge publicity for either PSA or
Listen,
BGS.
And they would lean on you and be like,
person who pulls the one ring, make sure PSA pays you for that. Like, right?
I said use it to make your YouTube channel, and you got after me. Now make sure everyone who looks at it pays you.
No, I'm saying if PSA is going to reap a massive benefit,
This will not be a top 20 card for PSA this year.
Is that just will there be that many high value sports cards? I don't know anything about the sports card market, so I know nothing about the sports card market.
And I don't believe it so much. I don't even want to research.
There's like a ton of $1 million sales for sports cards every year.
Yeah, but this is 2 million.
Maybe if that one LGS is telling the truth.
And a
in
thing of
Italy or
paella.
Spain or Europe or New Zealand or Australia. It's all the
Highest
same.
sale
Really.
of a trading card.
Bienvenidos.
It's a Mickey Mantle, I believe, still.
Yeah, you should know that.
6 million, and it's not in a PSA slam. It's crazy.
That's because the publicity would have been too much.
What did the Honus Wagner go for?
The Honus Wagner.
This is great content.
It's Mantle's rookie card.
That's what I said first. I said that was the highest price first. Yep.
Topps card sold for 12.6 million.
Yep. So you could trade 6 of these one-of-one rings for that if you wanted to, maybe.
The Mickey
For all
Mantle.
of you bored out there.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Interesting.
Is it?
No.
Pokemon number 3 illustration rare.
Wait. No. Okay, we're not doing this.
Pokemon's
So
number
okay.
3. What do you want for it? According to this
So here's the
article,
conspiracy theory. Here's the conspiracy theory that
Looks like
it's not
Fox
even a
News.
conspiracy theory. It's something somebody said would be cool that I'm latching onto because I think it would be cool. What if it's different art than what they've showed so far?
Oh, I love it. I love
that.
I love that.
I love
Listen,
that.
Wizards has done a lot right in the last 6 months. They're not that good.
Clip
They're
it.
not
I want that as the intro. I want that as the intro.
Wow. Yeah. You'll never gonna hear that on this channel ever again.
They've done a lot right the last 6 months.
6
They're
months.
not that good. They're not that smart.
6 months.
Well, that would explain the ghost hands holding up the card because it's a dead card and the real one's in the packs.
I can't believe you didn't realize that was a human being wearing gloves. That's still the wildest thing that ever happened on this
The creepiest
podcast.
live marble person in the universe. I thought it was a ghost
The
of
silver
Marble's past.
This card is so rare. The Silver Surfer himself came to Earth
Bingo.
to
Bingo.
show off. So my favorite take on the one-of-one ring is that it's actually turning us all into like evil pursuers of the ring.
Smeagol,
So it's the most lore intensive thing ever in a TCG. It's making us all crazy. Yeah,
that's
perfect.
certainly true. I mean,
but it's
I assume George wasn't in the store this weekend.
No.
Josh, did you go to any events?
I was in ALS events.
No, I had to babysit my nephews.
So
I even had slots and everything.
watching people open collector packs who have never, ever, ever opened a collector pack before. I mean, like they only buy like set packs. They hate collector packs. Watching them open collector packs this weekend with just this like itch about them was wild. It was wild.
I think that's called addiction.
Yeah, no, it was.
Nope.
It was wild, and it was interesting to see how the serialized cards and the high value that we're seeing was driving. Like we haven't seen that with the other collector boxes. Like
No.
1 of 500 that are selling for $600 doesn't get somebody to spend, $35 on a collector pack. That doesn't do it. Like a $1 million or $2 million bounty and $12,000 cards selling, it does it. It's crazy.
It's wild.
All right. So the other crazy thought that somebody else had that I liked was, I wonder if WotC will put in a letter in the collector booster that the pack is in and be like, you need to call us when you open this pack.
So instead of the actual ring or along with the ring?
So I think they could do a redemption. That has been what I've said the whole time.
Wow.
Is they
That
could
would
do this as a redemption.
that would be lame.
If I open the
Oh.
1/1 card and it's a piece of paper
It's
that's
a
like, hey, it's like
it's a clipping and it says "I owe you" written in pen.
it's like
just
when
like
your
slid in.
parents forget about
Chris
Christmas.
Chris Cox signed it.
It's like, sorry, I was showing off the card at a cocktail party.
I dropped it in my cocktail.
The ghost of marble.
It's like Christmas morning and your parents forgot to get the Christmas presents, so they give you like a little piece of paper that's like, here's what I'll get you next week when the stores are open.
It's a picture of the Xbox that you're gonna get, and then you just never get the Xbox because your parents can't afford it. Then you cry for a little while, but you move on because you know they still love you. Oh, sorry, what?
Shout out to Star Wars action figures. That's actually what happened with the original line of Kenner Star Wars action figures. Did you guys know that?
No.
Kenner couldn't produce the cards or it's not a TCG, sorry. Kenner couldn't produce the figures before Christmas. So they sold redemptions to parents, and parents put these little things under the tree that was like, in October of next year, you can go and get your Star Wars action figures.
As long as they get them to them within 18 months, I think it's all good.
And it was like one of the highest selling products for Star Wars at the time
There
ever.
you go.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They get merchandising. Anyway, all right, let's move on from the one fake ring.
You never gave us a take of how many of these do you think we see?
I think we continue to see these for 5 years.
Until it's pulled. Until the real one's pulled, we're going to keep seeing fakes.
No, like I straight up think that you will be able to go into just about, I bet you 20% of LGSs across America will have a fake 1/1 ring in a commander deck as somebody's joke proxy card. You're going to see these on Etsy. You're going to see them on eBay. You're going to see fake 1/1 ring cards all over the place.
But the one ring itself, the card, is so affordable. People are going to pay for a.
It's not
proxy?
so affordable. I mean, it's like I don't know. I haven't looked up in the last couple of days. It's like a $15 to $20 card.
Is it still? I thought it was down to like 10.
It is. According to this, it's $37.
Oh, that's wild.
Boxes are underpriced.
You know what's crazy underpriced is the borderless. Like that. This is the price of a bundle, and I sell bundles in my store for $50. There's a $38 guaranteed card in it.
Is that true?
Yes.
The borderless one ring is apparently. Yeah, listen, again, we're in pre-release times. It's going to come down.
Yeah.
George, everything to the moon.
Up only.
George is calling the store. Take the bundles off the shelf. Take them off the shelf.
I have nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't have a bundle.
Nothing.
Mr. Went, for the third time this week, this is not your store. Call your store.
This is the thing I didn't see happening in this set is the card in the bundle being worth this much.
I didn't see the card in the bundle being worth this much. I saw the people wanting to complete the scenes. We're seeing on social media a bunch of people putting in binders, piecing together the different scenes, not only the one that comes out of the bundle, but the full art ones you get other places. I didn't think we'd see those all over social media.
Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, it's nuts.
Collectability's back, man.
I mean, like there's no doubting that. All right, let's pull up Josh's little sales data copy.
Collectability's back, man. I love the fact that people are collecting like affordable cards. Like people are just taking pride in owning like affordable cards.
All right.
Yeah. You can collect most of these scenes for like under $100 by the time this is done, I bet.
That true?
Like by the time this is done, I bet you'll be able to get most of these scenes for under $100.
I mean,
and like people are just going to
buy one.
People are going to be proud to show them off. Like you should be happy. That's cool.
And that prevents cards from popping up on the market, and is why I think there's a lot of people who bought the bundle just for the 4 cards.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to go online and sell them because that's why they bought their bundle. And so that's the price of the card is
and they get the set boosters on the inside, and that's like the bonus. Now they're opening. Now not only are they getting their thing, but now they're opening set boosters. Like win-win.
I think they should go this direction for every bundle now. I think you should have a set of 4 cards that make some sort of cool scene, a cool spin down dice, 8 set packs, and like
OnlyFans conversation coming soon.
I think that's a good
truth. Truth.
Okay,
but hold on.
Yeah, I want to stay here. I don't think that works. Like the scene for the Brothers War. I think again, you and I would think it's cool. I don't think the rest of the community think it's
sure. I'm not
cool
saying
like
it's going to be a $40 card every time, but I'm saying like people were excited about that bundle.
No, but
if you take the Doctor Who set and you find something that's exciting for the 4 quadrillion Doctor Who
if you take another, I'm talking about a regular Magic set,
Beyond.
Another Universes Beyond product. This works. I'm talking Brothers War, Phyrexia All Be One. Oh my God, are you about to? You're gonna do it. Just do it.
I don't know why we even do any more regular Magic sets anymore.
I hate it. I hate it here.
I don't know why you don't just turn into Weiss and just do this. Like there's no who we talked about this on the phone, Josh. Who cares about Wilds of Eldraine? Nobody even knows about it. Nobody even is excited about it. Nobody cares about it.
It's also crazy. We just said we can't predict Commander Masters because it's not here yet. Wilds of Eldraine is so far in the future.
I don't know, man. I hate that take. I hate it. I don't want it. I don't want any Universes Beyond products, to be honest.
I think my Universes Beyond
making money. The Louis DeGeorge TCG story.
That's fair. That's 100%.
No. Evolved. Give me some more Paldea Evolved. I love losing $12 on TCG Player.
George, don't be disingenuous. I hate making money on mainstream TCGs.
Oh, that's
the
true.
Louis
That's
DeGeorge
true.
story.
Wow. Let's talk about how much money I've spent on alternative TCGs and how much money I've taken.
Absolutely
Let's not. I mean, there's not enough therapy time.
You want to know my bags? You don't even know my bags.
I know your bags. I know your bags.
I fear your bags.
I got more alternative TCG bags than there are alternative TCGs.
That's not true.
Your bags keep me up at night.
I have alternative TCG
they do
bags
for me too. I can't stop laughing.
that never even hit the market.
Yeah.
You've got your face on a card.
All right,
that was my favorite part. You built a pirate deck and didn't put your own pirate card as a token.
Well, listen, if you're coming up with your best pirates, Louis DeGeorge is not exactly does not spark any inspiration there.
Why
a pirate deck?
I could be hanging out with my wife tonight. Why am I here? Why am I here?
You have your I'm sorry for complimenting the fact that you have your face on a card.
All right.
Yeah.
Ivory Tower TCG channels get real nitpicky at 10K, don't they?
Okay, let's talk about Josh's fantastic sales data. He counted this out by Josh. How did you count to 13,838 with your hands, man? That's crazy.
I reset a lot. I make a tally on a piece of paper and I move on. I just guess it's all fake. It's all fake anyway.
Walk us through this. This is the total amount spent.
Can you make it so I can see on the screen?
Hit the link in the Discord chat, George.
That is true.
Okay,
I did send you a link.
am making sure that our viewers have something to look and you know.
I didn't know if you were going to throw at in there.
I have a sorcery card on my screen right now.
We do have a weird sorcery card on our screen.
I have
right
9 sorcery cards.
We can see a sorcery
I have 9
card.
sorcery cards on my screen right now.
Well, it's one sorcery card.
It's not sharing.
It has
the
9
right,
of them.
It's not sharing you the right thing. I don't know.
Wow, your sentences are a little bit jumbled today, man. It's been a long week.
I've been hanging out with my kids all day. I'm tired.
You got great kids, though. Every time I'm on the phone with you, they're always saying something nice.
Daddy, 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 hey, daddy, daddy, hey, daddy, daddy. That's all. That's about
Hey, that just means you're a good dad. If you're a crappy dad, they'd never call you because you're going to answer. That just means you're a good dad.
Okay. So 3.1 million with an M sales.
We crossed 3 million in total sales, boys. We passed 3 million. This
crazy.
is more than both, what is it, Dominaria Remastered and March of the Machine combined.
Have sold all the up through today, right?
We're
not talking just pre-release.
No, through this day, this point, we're at 3.1, almost $3.2 million. And also, the way these trend is it gets the graph of how many boxes are sold goes like this as you approach release day. Now, on release day, it's a roller coaster and you go the other way. That will be interesting to watch in this set. But we're still going to the moon. We're on the ascent.
It's wild because, like, I haven't needed to sell any of this on TCG Player. Like, I haven't sold any boxes.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of how they evolved. I agree with you.
I haven't sold any How They Evolved either. But I haven't sold any.
That's because you lose $13 a box when you sell.
I haven't, like, the demand at a local level is so high.
Unbelievable.
That I haven't sold any boxes. I mean, I opened the Commander decks, which was highly successful, by the way. But the Commander, like, the amount of sales I think that you're seeing here is wild to me, that we're saying it's a lot, because I'm surprised stores even have to sell it on TCG Player.
Well, I think a lot of stores existed in the world of yesteryear, right? Where it was get all your stuff, find out your allocations, list them as quickly as possible so you can try to lock in some money. And on this set, I think that's still a great strategy. Heck, based on what stores are paying for this stuff, there's money to be made hand over foot. But I do believe a lot of stores fell into the trap of list everything. Like, whatever I'm getting, list it. Now, the problem I think some stores is going to have is if the practice in that store is list everything on TCG Player and also just put it on my shelves, there might be some conflict there, right? Which is why when I update
Like
the sales data, or having to cancel TCG Player orders, which is why while collecting. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Josh.
No, there's a business model there's online business models,
right?
Like, if you're a store in middle of nowhere and you've been a store for 25 years and you have a ton of allocation, like, this is what you do every set. You got your business model.
You just keep the boxes that you're going to sell locally.
Yeah, you keep those 4 boxes and you dump everything else on TCG Player or your store or eBay or whatever.
Yeah, you keep your spend up with your distributor, you keep product moving. It's a great model. But one thing that's interesting here is of all these sales we're seeing, and this hit me, I think it was last week, and it's really more relevant now, I think, than ever, is a site like TCG Player is probably dragging in people who are already familiar with Magic. This is not necessarily, I think, a large portion of that outside community, your Lord of the Rings fans that are buying, who are not already Magic fans. I think most people buying here are just Magic fans.
Well, and that place would be eBay, and eBay's prices this whole time have been lower than TCG Player. Like, eBay's prices have been about $12 to $25, $30 cheaper than, like, the lowest prices on TCG Player. So it's kind of wild to, like,
arbitrage.
Yeah, you can lose only $30 after fees. You know who's cleaning up here? You know who cleans up here is TCG Player.
TCG Player.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I'm gonna run.
I love how you're doing the math. I love how I knew where this was going because of your hatred of TCG Player.
So while he's
$465,000.
Well, hold on. There you go. There you go.
This release.
Listen, my math is questionable. Your math is terrible.
That's probably twice the amount of money they had to spend to buy Channel Fireball.
I think Channel Fireball was given to them after a while. George, I want to run this by you, and then I want to get your opinion. There's 2 surprise products here. The first surprise product is the set booster box. The set booster box is selling much less. than any other set that I've tracked. So as always, Louis always says, compare it to something else. It's a much less popular product. And the gift bundle here is absurd.
People who are
as far as
gift bundle right now are so ridiculously.
You know why they're buying it, right?
Why?
That's where the One Ring is.
The theory of
I
the
love that
gift
theory.
bundle's coming out later, so the One Ring is in there because they wouldn't release it early. Anyway, George, that's my take.
I have never been cut in my life from distro like I was cut on gift bundles ever. It's my most allocated product. And I mean, like, even when I was a small store, I got better allocations I got on the gift bundle. It was like, I honestly thought it was I thought I made a typo because I was like, oh, I must have like missed a 0.
Yeah.
Nope. I didn't.
You must have ordered cases instead of boxes, like me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was stunned.
That's just wild.
I would caution anybody.
How much are gift bundles at?
$205.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy.
You get 8 set packs and 1.
No, isn't it 12?
Nope. Yeah,
Is it 8
right now? 8 set packs and 1
and a $37 card.
I think there'll be something special in there.
I don't. There's nothing that says that.
Okay.
I think here's.
All right.
Okay, let's talk about this because
mark it down.
There's also
Scoopy.
there's also 3 versions of something similar to this in the special edition re-release in November, and that's my fear for people who are spending $204 on this today.
Man, but it's a world of today. You're talking about November.
I know, but I'm telling people, if you want to put this on your shelf behind you in a wall, I think spending $205 on that is ridiculous right now, knowing what we know.
Look at how they massacred my boy.
Like, knowing what we know about what's coming and what else is exciting and what's in these. You're buying a $35 pack. That's what you're buying here.
No, I would. So let me be very clear here. I would not buy this at $200. I would not be the buyer. But like, they're like, if you're a sealed collector and they don't reprint these, and they tend to not reprint.
Yeah, they won't. They never reprint. Yeah, they can't reprint these because of the collector pack.
So, like, if they can't reprint these and you're a sealed collector, I think this is going to be hard to find.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be like, this is like, I mean this. I honestly thought that my number was in cases when it was in boxes.
Yeah, the cuts were crazy.
I was like, wait, what? I thought I made a mistake, then I thought my rep made a mistake.
I'm 100% putting these products like on the shelf behind me because I think they're going to remind us of a fun time. They're going to be really cool to see on backgrounds and stuff like this. I think they're neat in that way. $200 plus, I don't know about that. But George, you made a good point about reprinting. They can't reprint this product. When it's gone, it's gone. It's like the collector box. When it's gone, it's gone.
I think what Throne of Eldraine was for the flashy era, this set will be for the Universes Beyond era. This will be the set that people look at as the beginning of a new era in Magic the Gathering history.
My God, it always reminds me of my Universes Beyond take. It's so good. We talked about it on the phone. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to expose it yet. It's so good. It's perfect.
What?
Wow.
What?
You weren't on the conversation. I don't. It's a divergence from what we're talking about right now. I didn't want to derail the train.
Well, now you already have. Now you got to talk about it.
So I think we're seeing a shift in design for Magic. I think we're going to see the standard sets. If Wizards truly wants to do what it says it wants to do, the standard sets are going to focus on the Magic IP as they try to bring back tabletop 60 card in-person play. But instead of dedicated commander cards in those sets, there are going to be releases that come out throughout the year. So the regular standard release cycle, but every other release you see of a premium product or specialty product is going to be a Universes Beyond product, a Universes Beyond release that is Commander centric, because Universes Beyond really works well with Commander, where you can build this identity and live in this IP and use cards from that full set to create this play experience. It literally would be perfect.
I think the problem is, like, if you don't print if you underpower the cards not for commander in those other sets, those sets are going to have a hard time selling.
Unless you bring back tabletop standard play, which they have stated as a goal. If they're successful in that, you could have a balance of selling product. If they can't do that, if they can't find a purpose for those standard sets, that's been a theme on my channel for the better part of a half a year now. If they can't find a purpose for those products outside of the commander subset in them, then they can't do this.
Yeah. Bring back Brawl. I'm with you.
You gotta sell those 2 decks that you got in there.
I have a question.
Decks.
I have an answer. It's not the right one, but I got one.
Are set boxes undervalued?
100%.
Or are collector boxes overvalued?
No.
Go ahead, George.
I think set boxes are undervalued. I'm not convinced collector boxes are overvalued. I am not convinced they're not both undervalued, to be honest. And I say this was none left of anything. Like I have pre-release kits if you want some, like in store only. Like I have nothing left. So like you get a box topper in the set box. There's a ton of value in the boxes right now. Like
this, but
I think set boxes are a play right now.
This sparks an interesting conversation, George, because set boxes are going to be printed to the moon as long as Wizards can.
Yeah.
So somebody told me I didn't fact check this. Wizards, don't ban me, please. Somebody told me today that they pulled the Lord of the Rings license things, and it's till 2025 that Wizards can print Lord of the Rings cards. So they thought that we're going to see further sets in the going up to 2025 of Lord of the Rings. I think I don't know if the Hobbit is connected to that, but I have thought of like the next option here is to do a Hobbit themed set, right? Like from the Hobbit book.
Oh, it'll be twice as long and half as successful. It'll be great.
Yeah. But set boxes are the only real product selling on TCG Player where stores are barely breaking even or maybe even losing some money after fees and shipping. 170 after TCG Player fees gets you about 143. Shipping would be about $8 to $10.
Which is a wonderful thing that we just said earlier. You don't need to sell these on TCG Player. You could sell these in store and make all your money.
I'm just saying if you use store distro prices as a way to gauge, like if you sell a collector box on TCG Player, you're up like $100 or something like that for collector boxes. Set boxes, you are losing money after fees. You are, George. Yep. After fees and shipping, you have to pay shipping.
Not when you're George. You just drop it off in a van.
But you're not losing money.
You're breaking even.
Those are two very different things.
Well, like
and
it
also
depends
you're wrong on that too. Like
you're wrong on your costs.
I'll pull it up right now.
So,
let's do it. Live screen share. We're in it. You guys see my data. Let's see yours. I showed you mine. You show me yours.
You'd be losing between $5 and $10 a box, depending on what your prices are. So that to me tells me that set boxes are underpriced at $170 comparatively to the set. Now you could tell me that the only thing that matters is the serialized cards, and that's why the collector boxes are going heavy. But I look at things like the Nazgul, which are selling for $13 each as an uncommon. That's wild. But what?
Though if set boxes can be printed till 2025, those come down, right? Like sure.
Not in 2 weeks. Not in the time that takes you to get the cards in and sell your cards.
You don't think those come down in 2 weeks? I think they come down a lot after release. I think uncommons like that that are popular pulls out of the set box, I think come down hard.
So Nazgul has the one thing going for it is like if people really are collecting the set and trying to get one of 9, it's really hard. I know people who open like multiple set boxes and got 2 of them. They still need 7. Like they need 7 different arts. Like they need a lot of different cards. And I think a lot of people want to put those in decks just because it's a cool theme. But I think stuff like that existing, and then the real kicker is the box toppers.
Box toppers.
The box toppers are crazy.
I wanted to do a video this week about the number of polls, but I couldn't get it down. You shared an article, and there was a wonderful user on Facebook. I forget the gentleman's name. If I look it up, I may just shout your name out throughout later in the podcast. But that did the math and said like how many of the crazy foil box toppers were out there, and if those numbers are correct, those things are rare.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah. One of these sold for $450 on eBay today.
Was it yours?
It was not. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that's undervalued. Like I do.
Really?
Yeah, those are iconic cards. Those are crazy. George, I didn't notice that this person has $10 shipping. So at $170 with free shipping, you would be losing money, but with the $10 shipping, you're making money. But anyway. Interesting thought process there on the different things. George, you think set boxes are undervalued?
I mean, distro is basically out. Like the question, like, I agree with Josh. They will be reprinted heavily, is my guess.
Yeah.
But like the question is when.
Yeah.
Like like when does Commander Masters come out?
August 4th. Is it on my on my anniversary?
There might be a restock before then. Maybe.
So if there's no restock of this product before August 4th, we live in a wild world with these cards.
I agree.
I think
this becomes the Lorcana situation. There's a lot of money to be made before the restock. Then
I'm in. You had me at Lorcana, baby.
Hold on, I didn't. Do you truly think that we could? That it's like a maybe we get a restock before then? Because if so, that's
I think it's definitely a maybe. I mean, like here's
really.
There is so little information about Commander Masters right now. It is staggering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because nothing can hold a candle to my boy.
Well,
nobody knows anything about Commander Masters.
We don't have any spoilers. We don't
we know nothing. And so what if my question is, are they printing it right now? Commander there's been no leaks even.
Yeah.
This is the again, Wizards tends to be pretty decent at keeping things secret. This is amazing even for them.
Yeah. Well, it could be a look over here situation, right? It could be like everyone's looking over here, so nobody's focused on the printing of Commander Masters, so we're not seeing any leaks.
I think you'll get a restock before Commander Masters. I think it'll be a small restock though.
But
really?
The other thought process I have is like, what if their idea of the reprint is the set that's in November, the special version, and they're
we're going to the moon.
Yeah, if that's the case, and we know that, Louis, how many set boxes are you buying tonight?
I would buy whatever distro had for me tonight.
Yeah, at this point, you could buy them on the secondary market.
If that was true.
If that were
the Commander decks are another interesting one. I wanted to go this way because I was told this week that Wednesday will be the last shipment of Commander decks that distro knows about. And I heard that and I didn't believe it. The guy was like, oh, my reps. I confirmed it with the other rep. He felt like he's like, I've heard similar things. But that's the wild thing, because the Commander decks right now are not ridiculously priced. You can still get the set of all four of them for $188. That's certainly cheaper than Warhammer was doing for a while. And Warhammer saw 5 or 6 reprints, significant reprints.
Yeah. And
if we don't see these Commander decks, I mean, these things are flying locally. I had to raise my price on my website, which is also what I use in store. And I wanted to honor the $55 price point in store for every deck, no matter if they're going whatever. And we had to raise our price online because I woke up and I had sold 5 of the Hosts of Mordor decks online because the price spiked on them. And so even at the higher price, people are buying them online from me, and it's crazy. The demand for them it's just insane.
You made a point on a phone call today, and I'm gonna leak it just because I think it was a really good point. you said these would be some of the most kept together precons of all time. And like along with Warhammer, maybe even the Doctor Who ones probably won't because they're coming with their own little set of collector boosters. We don't know if there'll be unique cards in there. We don't. But these ones, along with Warhammer, I think you're spot on that.
Yeah, and maybe I could reiterate my take there. Like, I do think people will upgrade them with Lord of the Rings cards, probably. Like, I could see you putting in the One Ring in your Commander deck set. I think there's a really fun multiplayer Commander format where you, like, anytime you deal damage to one of the other people, you get the One Ring. And so you just keep passing the card, the One Ring, around the table as you deal damage to each other. I think that's fun. Like, I think people could come up with interesting ways to upgrade these decks within the ecosystem of Lord of the Rings. But I do think, like, if you own one or two of these, you're gonna be like, oh man, I should get the other two so I have a full set. Like, I think that's gonna be a pretty common theme.
Yeah, I think sleeving these up and like having the set together speaks to a lot larger portion of the community. 100%. Yeah, you did a Commander stream. Maybe you can probably click somewhere on this channel to find that.
This is a great example of how good this set is. Compare that Commander stream to every other Commander stream I've ever done. The views are insane. I mean, it's like 5 times the views.
George, did you have those
viewers?
Did you have those stats handy, George? Because I didn't.
Yeah, 5 viewers. That's amazing. What were their names?
Hey,
let's shout them out.
Talk about live stream. Shout out to everyone who came over right now for my live stream that I do every Friday morning.
Oh my god, I hate content creators.
When we don't like you either.
Right. So $450 boxes, too pricey or too cheap?
All right, we have it's already been an hour.
It's too cheap.
It's been 45 minutes.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah, why do you hate talking about the only thing in trading card games that matters right now? The Lord of the Rings is the only thing
I love how George criticizes me for loving indie TCGs and then just like pushes us through Magic content.
I'm so tired.
Drink your La Croix and talk about TCGs, dude.
Boxes are down to 435. That's off
over.
The highs of 460.
It's over. Also add that we're filming this on Wednesday.
This comes out box at 390.
That graph is wild. That graph is insane.
I'll be stunned if these don't hit 500 by the middle of next month.
You and $500 boxes do not age well so far.
I'm there. I'm with George on this.
I think so too.
Right, I'm out. I think they'll be 350.
I think hearing what Distro's saying, like
Distro was
they
a
have nothing.
mechanic. Distro was a mechanic.
Yeah,
they got me what they could, and they were like, "I hope that's okay." Yeah. I'm like, "It's not. It's not. I hate you.
Do better.
A pox on your house."
I called my rep like 4 times this morning. He didn't answer. I texted him. I was like, "I waited till 10 o'clock to call you. I didn't want to seem too eager, but I need my boxes."
You guys, this distribution relationship is weird. It's like it's okay.
Like funny. It's funny because this is how we feel after every set. Like after every other set, they call us like, "Hey, do you want more boxes? Hey, do you
want some more Paldea Evolved? You want some more Paldea? You got ETBs?
Like,
Need some ETBs?"
I'm the one trying to not answer my phone when they call. Or like answering on like Thursday afternoon and being like, well, they can't ship it on time, so I'll wait till next week to make an order. But like now we're the ones calling them, like begging them.
I want to point out this is my take solely. This does not represent the take of any of the stores that might be on your screen right now. It's like a weird drug dealer customer relationship where it's like, oh, we have to be nice and hang out, but we don't want to talk to one another. We just want the stuff, man.
That's not how it is. My reps, me and my reps both say.
Well, yeah, you have to say that.
We're both in on making money off each other. That's the goal.
That's cool. Look, I'm spot on. I'm crushing it today.
All right. Let's move on. I guess we all agree that 450 is an accurate price or low.
I think it's low.
I think it's a good price right now. That seems about right to me.
Yeah, I think it's healthy now. I think I agree. In a month, it's going to be 500.
Just like Commander Master set boxes.
The only caveat I still have is that ring being pulled.
No.
So like here's the reason.
No.
Here's the reasoning. It's not that people are only opening for the one ring. That's not the reasoning. It's that stores, I think, are holding back product thinking that the prices.
All right.
I'm not the store. I'm all in on selling right now.
Stores, listen to me. Listen to me as somebody who's been through some hype cycles in my day. Sell into the hype.
Yeah, for sure.
I know what you're thinking.
Not happening.
It only goes one direction, baby.
To
it
1K.
Can't be a bubble if the prices are going up, says Louis George. But like, it can.
I agree. Listen. I agree. I am happy every time I sell a box, but that being said,
what?
I know that there are other stores who are not doing that.
They're fools.
Yes.
Sell.
You're making
a lot of money a box.
A lot of money per box.
Sell them.
I agree. I'm not
make your money, honey.
do that. I'm saying that stores
Stack
are holding
paper.
boxes back.
Stack cheese.
So when the ring does get pulled, all those stores will then flood the market with the boxes. That's my point.
As a great philosopher once said, something, stack that cheese. No. That's it. That's the only answer.
Give me that cheddar.
Yeah. Paper, baby.
All right. Let's float on. 151. We're talking about Pokemon, everyone.
I like
sent out a great article.
It was a tweet, I think. I don't know about.
I'm the only one that actually clicked on it. That's been the takeaway of this conversation so far.
Louis sent it out. So.
That's true. He'll send it out and then not discuss it and not remember.
I don't think that I even read the article. To be
that follows. Hugh Hefner's son is apparently starting an OnlyFans, and the whole point of his OnlyFans is to buy Pokemon cards.
How does this work? Like, is it Hugh Hefner?
You sent out the article.
I told you. I just told you.
Hold on. He just told you how it works. Hugh Hefner's son started an OnlyFans to pay for Pokemon cards. It's not much deeper than that.
So, like,
you nailed it.
I don't understand.
So, Louis, here's my question to you: is why haven't you done that yet?
Yes.
I'm not an attractive person. I don't know.
I got news for you. I don't think they're clicking on him for his looks.
Then I can just start an OnlyFans and make money? That's how this works?
Yeah.
You got feet, dude?
You got feet and you got one.
I don't think that's the way it works.
You could have Pokemons all over your feet.
I'm pretty sure I would sell feet pics for Pokemon cards.
I know you would.
I don't know why that's like that big of a deal, to be honest. Like,
this is my
people seeing my feet. I'm not.
I would subscribe to you because I'm a supportive friend, and I'd hate myself every day for it. I would.
I would not.
I don't think that that's a thing. Like, I don't buy you that that's a thing.
Don't. If you're a viewer, don't Google any of this.
All right. Slide into Louis' DMs with proof, though.
No, don't.
Please don't.
Okay.
Slide into Louis' DMs to prove it. Go to gamergrove.gg and hit contact us and send him the evidence.
I want to talk
Poor
about
people that work in a store.
Get up to Lauren, the goat.
She started the whole feet thing on the channel, for the record.
That's actually true.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about 151.
How does that relate to Hugh Hefner's son?
Have you, in your 35 years of being old, have you seen a Pokemon set with this much hype?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Champion's Path.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, Champion's Path was something nasty. Like Pokemon is weird because it goes in these ebbs and flows, and like it makes no sense, and you never know when it's going to ebb and flow.
Right.
Like it is like I have a really tough time navigating the waters of Pokemon because like sets do one of two things: completely sit and die.
Looking at you, about to evolved and Scarlet Violet.
And Scarlet and Violet, or they go to the moon. And like I don't know why. Like, how come I can't give away Shining Fates? I can't give it away. I could put it on my shelf and say "Freedom a good home," and people will spit on me for insulting them with it. And I can put out the next box. Be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like,
so
it's wild.
As a Pokemon fan, so let me tell you what I see about this set that I really like. It's not just a reprint set of the 151 cards. Okay. They took the cards and they took the artwork and they took it and they made it they like took the artwork and they made similar scenes that remind you of the original artwork from when I was a kid. And so I can see people wanting to, and like something that I like when I bought my first house, I've never told you guys this. You're gonna make fun of me. This podcast makes me scared to talk. I had next to my TV was two posters that were I completed my 151 Pokemon card set. Like as an adult, I bought a house. The very next thing I did was make sure I finally caught them all.
Why did you start any channel but a Pokemon channel? Like, what went through your skull when you were like, I'm going to cover indie TCGs, then I'm going to cover Magic?
I kind of fell into this whole YouTube thing. Okay. Just kind of stumbled upon it.
You had 15 YouTube channels before this one.
That's not true. I had one.
You had more than one, I believe.
Nope. I had one. Just one. So I could see myself wanting to collect a wall or a display or a binder that's like original card, new card, or like the two artworks side by side and next to each other. And I think that's a really cool thing that really plays off of the post-pandemic excitement that people have to like the pandemic really started. I see this all the time in my store. Parents coming in to collect cards with their kids and to like fill out sets with their kids. Like they come in, they sort through the bulk bin and they organize cards and they try to complete sets with their kids. And I think there's going to be a lot of that because of the nostalgia effect between my generation, the 30-year-old, with a 5-year-old daughter who like wants to share that moment and collect something. I think this set hits the nostalgia factor harder than any Pokemon set that I know of.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't around for Champion's Path, but like it's not just a reprint set. It's also utilizing artwork that reminds us of the original set.
So I agree with you. I think the set will do very well. I will put a caveat on this. I remember very clearly on this podcast being told that Pokemon Go was going to be an amazing set because everybody played the video game. Can't give it away.
Pokemon Go was fantastic.
Do I really need to pull up the TCG player? Do we really have to do this?
Like, yeah, now they've reprinted it. Like, I agree with you that like now the prices are lower because the attention's on other things, aka Pokemon 151. But like the Pokemon Go set, I had to buy boxes off of you. I sold out of my whole.
And I want you to know, I greatly appreciated that. I appreciated that tremendously.
Like, I don't know, man. Like I still sell Pokemon. Pokemon Go selling for
Louis of all
MSRP.
Of all the weeks,
It's a 3-year-old set.
I actually think MSRP was 50 on this one.
Of all the weeks for you not to approach this topic with the confident gusto that you normally approach Pokemon with,
okay,
I feel no. Your take on this is spot on. This set's. I want to buy this set. I'm not an avid Pokemon person. I want to buy this set. I want to have boxes of this product. This is incredible.
I think this set will do very well.
It's not even that it'll do well. It's amazing. The design, the art, the cult. This is awesome. This is cool. This is way cooler than some of the other stuff. Like, hopefully all the cards are in the boxes. Like, that'll be a win. But like, this is cool. George, come on. This is cool.
I think it's a great concept. I think it'll do well. It'll do well. Like, I have no confidence in my ability to predict how well or poor Pokemon sets will do.
This should be proof.
This is what I think is a caveat. George, you are thinking you have to define what success is, and we never do this on the podcast. We just argue.
It's way less fun.
We just argue. But George, you seem to talk about Pokemon success as like things are selling significantly over MSRP, and it's going.
Sets are years old. Yeah, I think they should be.
Pokemon Go is a year old. I've only
I think
had
it's more than that.
George.
but I
I've
mean,
only had a store for a year and a half. So
Gosh darn it, Pokemon's doing something cool. Stop talking about other sets.
Like, it can't be that old. I don't think that there's any chance. Like, I think if you are buying Pokemon Go or Pokemon 151 Elite Trainer boxes at $120 and posting it on Facebook, like, oh, look at me, I got the box at MSRP, I think you're a little silly. Like, Charizard UPCs, the most amazing Charizard product ever in the world,
Allegedly.
I mean, they printed the daylights out of them. You can go to your corner dollar store and probably pick up like 10 of them because
I think the issue is twofold. Like, I think that's true. I also like the demand wasn't what people expected it to be.
But
that's not true.
But George,
that's why they're not selling. Like,
dude, the demand for that set was crazy. They just kept printing it. Their
the first wave was below MSRP on the first wave.
Right,
George.
But they didn't sell out of the first wave at distro.
Right. Exactly.
George,
exactly.
Every single person I know that collects Pokemon has a Charizard UPC. Every single one. Like
congratulations.
The demand was crazy for it. They just printed a ton of, and that will happen with 151. And this is my point.
I am not so like that. I don't know. Like I think again. Like I hope. Like I have no
speculate on print run.
I have no faith in my ability to gain
3 billion boxes.
Do it. Speculate on print run.
How well or poorly Pokemon sets will do. I mean, sad at it. I thought Scarlet and Violet was gonna be a banger. I thought Scarlet and Violet was gonna be a total banger.
So, like,
womp womp.
I can tell you from my store perspective, Scarlet and Violet was pretty good. Paldea Evolved was better. Like, I've sold more Paldea Evolved in store. People love the set. People love the artwork.
West Virginia, man.
You don't like. I don't know what your Pokemon community looks like. Frankly, like, I don't know what that looks
Neither
like.
does he.
But like, when you talk about Pokemon, you're always talking about TCG player. There's a lot of
I'm sorry, I don't know like your store's statistics. I don't think that makes a great podcast of what my store in West Virginia sold this week. If you want to start sharing your sales data, we can talk about it next week.
For Paldea
share your sales data with me?
For Paldea Evolved, there's a lot of issues that happen on TCG Player on release week for Paldea Evolved. They didn't have the card images of Paldea Evolved cards up on TCG Player until like the day of release day.
They have them now, right?
They have them now, but like they missed the hype. Like people were looking to buy cards, they didn't know what cards they were buying.
Well, that's a real thing, right? We talked about Magic sales. I assume with a TCG as big as Pokemon, sales are the same way. On release week, you're selling a ton, and then it falls off rather quickly.
I'm talking about box prices.
But George, I think what you're missing here is the Charizard UPC was cool, and Pokemon fans loved it. This Pokemon 151, I wouldn't classify myself as a Pokemon fan. I think this is going to be not necessarily a Lord of the Rings scenario. I'm not doing that comparison, but hold on. It's going to reach outside of the standard every release Pokemon community. Yes, Louis, you in the back.
Josh, can you please, I'm begging you, can you set up your little tracker to track the sales of
You don't want that. You don't want that.
I do.
Because I'm going to compare it to Lord of the Rings, and you're going to have an excuse.
I need to know. I need to know the sales differential between Pokemon 151 as a whole and Lord of the Rings as a whole. I will pay for your time. You will make money off of your YouTube channel. I will pay for your time.
I will not pay you for your time.
God.
I want you to know I'm very excited right now.
That was good. You get to 10K, you just crush the little guy. That was good. Listen, 4,000 of you come on over and subscribe, and we'll be even Steven, and then we'll talk about it, okay?
That came across way meaner than
that was good. That was really good.
Josh's dream of life is to have a YouTube channel that he's free from his day job from. So I was helping.
The difference between my day job pays a reasonable wage. I can't quit. Listen, Louis. I don't think you want me to do that
want
comparison.
You to. Josh, I want you to though.
I'll put a bet on it. I'll put a bet on it.
Are you saying it's going to outsell Lord of the Rings?
Yep.
Okay. What do you want to bet? On TCG player.
Yeah, I'm in. No. You asked me to track TCG player data.
I'll bet a box of 151. You want the box?
Well, there's no booster box of 151, so that'll be a 101.
Yeah, I'm in, which is great because I get to manipulate the data. So fantastic.
No.
Here we go.
No, come on.
No, I won't manipulate.
You won't have to. You will not have to.
Yes, I will not
You
have
will
to.
not have to.
Louis,
You will not be close.
I'm leaking a bunch of DMs this episode. George and I had this conversation on the phone. As I said, I told George, and I kind of baited you into this. I said to George,
Yo, but I got a good roast out of it, so I'm okay.
yes, you did. It was subtle, and it was like happened in. It still hurts. I'm still crying. I told George, I said, I'm gonna do this and not tell him. And then when I come to him with the completed data, he's gonna have to come up with some reason why it's so much less.
Absolutely.
He's gonna come up. He's gonna give me some excuse. And on that phone call, I'm gonna save this for that episode. I predicted some of your reasons why and have counterpoints to them already. So we're ready to go, baby.
Gosh, we're perfect for season 3 of Pokemon Podcast. We're all set.
Roast me all you want. It hurts a little bit, but I'm gonna be right in the end.
Okay. I'm going to order an irresponsible amount of product.
Why are we not focusing on the fact that this is going to reach outside of people who normally buy Pokemon product? This is going to reach a massively wider audience than most Pokemon sets. Like, I'm buying some of this box.
If I don't make it to October, it's because I ordered way too much 151. Like, I'm going to order an irresponsible amount.
Who would have known that it would be a mainstream TCG that kills your store and channel?
The odds of that were incredible.
That was not on the betting sheet. That one was the underdog.
The good part about Pokemon is you tend not to lose a lot of money, even on
you can always sell for cost. You can always sell.
Not when you open the box. Hold on. Louis, you taught me a harsh lesson when you opened the box, because I opened some with you at like 3 in the morning, and it was rough.
Listen,
you opened Pokemon?
Yeah, people who opened
it was a really rough time in my life, George.
There's no time that's rough enough to open Pokemon.
Yeah,
none.
Louis told me the same lesson.
It's like $28.
We do a bounty every set, and so this set we did the Magikarp. If you pulled the Magikarp, people get confused. You get to keep the Magikarp, like it's your card. You just also get a booster box of that set.
The Magikarp?
I don't want to give up the card, man. I just want to keep it. Don't give me the box.
Magikarp is such a good looking card.
Yeah.
Gyarados is my favorite Pokemon.
So we did this bounty, and somebody came in and opened 5 boxes in my store and didn't pull it.
Of course not. Of course not.
I felt like horrible.
Were you like, here, just take the 6 box, man? You got it.
Of course not. No.
Welcome to gamergrove.gg.
Yeah, like
brutal out there in West Virginia.
The Magikarp is gorgeous. Magikarp is gorgeous.
Gyarados is my favorite Pokemon, and
Actually, the person who pulled it traded it in. I have it right here.
I said if Pokemon Go was still the original 151 Pokemon, I'd still be actively playing Pokemon Go.
Like if it wasn't all the bullcrap Pokemon like Lampshado.
I get the feeling that I think people get when opening Magic product and they're not an ingrained person and they like all the different variants. I feel that with Pokemon.
Wow, Magikarp is cheap.
I can't keep up, and I have no energy to like know all the new ones.
But George, look at the graph on the Magikarp. Like
you guys have me talking about actual Pokemon, and we're just talking about BS. Like
it started as like a $35 card, $25-$30 card, and it skyrocketed last week and up to $70.
Now we're all just on TCG Player looking up prices. What riveting content!
Wow, I'm shocked it's this low.
Yeah. Okay,
that's the big pull, right? There's one.
No, that's not the big pull. Iono is the big pull.
Yeah, that's there's one of the one that's bigger.
Iono was always the biggest pull.
Is it the one from
120?
Paleta evolved?
Paldea. Yeah.
The Magikarp looks really good.
It's not part of the 151.
The Magikarp, I can't pronounce this Pokemon name, so like a little prelude to what I'm about to mispronounce. The Magikarp is done by the same artist who did the Garantina, Geronimo.
Is the back of this card actually different?
No.
The back of the Magikarp, it's gold?
No. You're looking at the wrong card, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You're doing great. Keep buying Pokemon. All right, let's talk about Cryptic.
It's not serialized. Get it out of my face.
Let's talk about
This is a perfect segue. Perfect segue, Josh. Thank you. Continue.
Our hopes for the Van Tour, other than that the 1/1 Lord of the Rings card is pulled by Tanner in a Cryptic booster pack.
God.
Which, by the way, would be what regular TCGs are doing to try to get attention. If you haven't noticed, PokeRev is opening Magic product because even he knows if I want to grow,
crazy.
I got to open a regular TCG product.
PokeRev opening Lord of the Rings that's insane. I heard that is it Lionheart? I heard that he's opening Lord of the Rings too.
Listen, if you're in the TCG space, get off your TCG and get onto this.
I would like to thank Lionheart for the algorithm boost. That's it. Hopes for the Van Tour. I hope that Tanner.
I have no idea what algorithm Leanhart just boosted for us.
Oh, like
No, not us.
For
Louis,
Josh and me.
Did he give you a shout out?
No, but like when a
Please.
YouTuber with that many views does something about a game that we cover, it boosts it. Yeah, he's got like 2 million subscribers or 3, something like that.
How come like Pokemon people have so many subscribers?
Yeah,
because it's bigger than Magic the Gathering.
It's
only
different.
Number of cards printed.
It is
different.
Much bigger than Magic the Gathering.
You know why they have so many subscribers? We have talked about this. We've had this conversation.
Me?
No,
I don't remember what I said. What did I say? Leak it.
No.
Leak it. Let's go. I don't care.
You made a good point.
I feel bad about it.
Why? I said it was a good one.
I know, but I still feel bad.
You feel bad about the weirdest and most random.
Yeah, I said that was a good one.
The nicest thing you've ever said to him on this podcast.
That is not true. He's never said anything nice to me on this podcast.
I've never had anything nice to say. Boom roasted.
That one wasn't that good. You could do better.
I know.
Now under 10K, someone unsubscribe.
Yes, do it.
999.
I still haven't celebrated because I have PTSD from the last time we celebrated.
No, that was my favorite. My favorite was celebrating for like 4 weeks in a row because you didn't quite get there. You didn't quite get there. You got there. Then you ungot there.
Dude, it's George. That's a real thing as the topic on your channel transitions. I am doing this rapid growth, a little recession, rapid growth. It's like, oh, you're literally watching the community turn over. It's terrifying.
Watching everything you spent 2 years of your life building collapse and wondering if you're ever going to be able to come back from it.
Now you're at 10K, baby. You and Tay-Tay.
You would not have been at 10K otherwise. Like, let's be honest.
Without Tay-Tay? Yeah.
Without the shift or without Tay-Tay.
Oh, without the shift, no, there's no chance. My growth rate before the shift was so ridiculously tiny.
It's for rough times.
Yeah. Okay, back to
Tay-Tay.
Back to it. Hopes for the Van Tour.
Okay,
Tay-Tay,
here's my only hope.
Okay.
I don't care about that. I hope Tanner goes to a Tay-Tay concert and starts teaching people at the Taylor Swift tour.
I hope he just starts blasting cryptic cards out of packs at the Tay-Tay concert.
I hope he does that at Taylor Swift concert. That would actually be really great marketing. Not the Hayukin of the cards, but like
cryptic cards raining over the hype of a Tay-Tay concert. Are you kidding? That's amazing marketing.
Like he has to do that, right?
If he doesn't sponsor like the dancers' outfits in the background of Taylor Swift, what is he doing?
I feel like that's worth multiples of his company. I don't know what that would cost.
It's like Taylor Swift. It's Taylor Swift, and then the background is just like all these Rosas dancing in the background.
I'm glad it's Rosa. I'm glad it's like,
of course it's Rosa. Who else would it be?
I think it'd be funnier if, because he's a smaller company, he's like, I can't afford a full sponsorship. They walk out and they're just each holding a cryptic card, which no one in the audience can see, and there's
that would be the best marketing of any TCG this year by a mile.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so your hope is Taylor Swift. Josh, if you cared about Cryptic, what would your hope be?
First of all, that's
wow. Yes, I'm in. If you didn't hate Tanner so much with the passion of
what are you talking about?
1,000 suns, Josh, what would your wish be?
I put in a lot of work researching topics to talk about indie TCGs, and you constantly tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and should shut up. And then you hit me. And then you hit me. You drive up to Chicago and then you hit me. And I say, Louis, I just want your friendship approval. That's all I want.
A, I would never hit anybody. But B, if I was going to hit somebody, I would be terrified to hit you.
Because I'm mean? Because I'm mean?
You're a big dude.
No, I think
I wouldn't even bother hitting. It would be hitting a fluffy pillow. But you,
nobody hits a cute puppy. They pet cute puppies.
There's nothing to pet. He's bald.
All right, I was cats.
Today.
Open up that Hawaiian shirt. You'll find something.
There you go.
You got some lettuce.
Give me some Pokemon cards.
So
there's the long COVID coming back.
It's the parvo.
It's a long parvo.
Oh, I forgot about the parvo. You two both deserve everything I've given you on this podcast.
You had the parvo. How did you forget about the parvo?
Crap, that meme that goes around in our Discord server of me eating dog crap is so funny.
It's the best.
Oh, what a wild 3 years it's been. What a wild 3 years.
For the van tour. Okay.
Right. If you didn't hate Tanner and wish him ill will, what would your hope be?
Yeah, I don't know why that was prefaced the way it was, but I was just showing off
I love
the
it.
Cryptic card.
I love it.
But, hey, apparently my bad, Tanner, but I hope that when he goes to a location, he's able to draw out like the pockets of indie TCG fans in that area. We've talked before how important it is for when you have a local indie TCG community for that to stay tight knit, for you to have a leader and to rally around these events, because they're going to be a bit more separated. I really hope that he's able to pull those pockets to the store he shows up at. So not only when he's explaining to that store owner, hey, this is my game, this is what I can do, you have a ready-made audience right here that want to play, like, check this out. I think that's going to be the most important aspect of the van tour, that they can look at a store owner and say, you have customers, we have a community. It's not just me saying this is why my game is great.
Right. I think it's good.
So yeah, Louis, what would?
But I hope that doesn't happen because I hate it.
No, I think that's a good take, Josh. I think that's I think in order to I agree with you. In order to accomplish that, so I hope my hope is like that there's focus and an I think you can't do this twice. Like no. I think like this is like
you can do it permanently though.
Yeah, you can just like live in a van if you want, but like I think like this is like
you could make it much more.
I think Tanner's done some amazingly cool things. I think one of the things I would like to see an improvement from with Cryptic is like organization, like to know where he's going to be so that people can go be at that store. Like I think the Cryptic community is I was actually kind of shocked. I noticed how many people had hit the check mark in the Discord server to be in the buy sell trade Discord server. Like 1,000 people about. Like there's a lot of people in a lot of different states who are fans of Cryptic enough to go buy and sell cards. And so and I think organizing it in a way where people who love the game can come and support, so they show up at that game store, and it's not just Tanner shilling his game, but like it's actually the community coming out alongside Tanner to show and teach people how to play the game.
Is this just my take?
It's your take, but I think like in order to get there, I'm saying like there needs to be organization.
Yeah, like the social media needs to be on point, and people need to be following it. You got to type it up.
Schedule. There needs to be a again. Like I don't think you can do this twice. Like I don't think you can do a full on. I don't think the community is going to come back and support this. And like the community bought the gas. The community is excited for it. Like the poker thing that we did. Like I want to see a form of organization where like if you want to support this, can go and support it at the store level and be there when Tanner's there, help teach the game, help share the game. And where this game was advertised last year when the Kickstarter went out, it was advertised as a community driven TCG. That's what was sold to me. So it was sold to us. I would like to see this be not just a Discord community, but see the community come out and it be a community-driven TCG on an actual level, on the LGS level. So that's my hope, so that he organizes it in a way that's able to happen.
You almost have to do it like you remember like classic concert tees that had like the dates of the tour on the back. You almost have to do it kind of like that, right? Because then people can plan. We've talked about.
I have a Manchester Orchestra. I thought maybe it was a concert shirt. It's not.
I'm super proud of you for not knowing what you were wearing. But
I have like 15 Manchester Orchestra shirts.
I have like 15 copies of the same black T-shirt. I am that guy.
Yeah, I need to be that guy.
It's pretty great, I got to tell you. But I think you have to do it like that, because we've talked problems with other indie TCGs that we've talked about is like, if you don't schedule things out enough in the future, we're all adults. Like, we can't just drop what we're doing and just like go anywhere you say. We need you to give us a schedule. So Tanner's got to give these guys, his community a little advance in schedule here, so they can, maybe they got to make a 2-hour trip, 3-hour trip to show some support, right?
Right.
Well, whatever it's got to be, I think you got to do that. It would be cool to have a van tour tee that he could sell with all the dates and where he's going if he had it that plan that far. Call it the what?
Eras Tour.
I'd call it something else, but.
Okay, I think like this is Cryptic's timeline. Like, this is if the game's gonna grow, it's gonna grow in the next 6 months as stores pick it up. You have a new release coming out. Like, I think this is the opportunity for Cryptic to actually grow.
I think that's mostly true. I will just add, like, Tanner's the only one of the new TCG CEOs that have a reasonable take on how big his game's gonna be.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like candidly, like, that has been my biggest takeaway from Lord of the Rings, is that like
nothing else matters.
Yeah, it's just like, like everything else is like, congratulations, you got 2,000 players or 20,000 players. It doesn't matter. You can't even fill a Taylor Swift concert. Like,
And that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even close. None of them are close. None of them are close.
Magic's not even close to that.
What are you talking about?
You couldn't get it. You couldn't do a Magic event and have 70,000 people show up.
But I'm saying, if you brought in all the Magic players, you have more than 73,000 players.
Yeah. Okay.
Way more.
Like multiple.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Okay. So I mean, like, if you add up every player of every indie TCG, maybe you get to 70,000. Maybe. No. Probably not.
No.
Are we considering Yu-Gi-Oh! And indie TCG?
No.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Weiss are their own.
You're even throwing Weiss in the.
Weiss, like, there's a lot of collectors of Weiss.
I've been criticized for calling TCGs that have been around for a little while now indie TCGs, and I think they still are. I would still qualify Weiss as an indie TCG. I'm probably wrong for it. That's just how my brain works.
Disrespect. I love it.
I respect Weiss as much as Louis respects me and my YouTube channel. Like, it's not
that low.
I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Negatives.
Yeah. I'd buy it if I could.
Wow.
I got some Avatar Weiss.
No, the company. I would never buy the box.
I don't like Weiss. I don't buy Weiss.
I don't either, except for like when it's gonna be a hot set. Then people like come in and like, I want some Avatar Weiss. I'm like, here you go.
Here it is.
I don't know anything about it.
Good luck, Tanner, on the van tour.
Can we close with this?
Yeah.
I think this is one of the most important things. And I don't know if Tanner listens to the podcast, but like, when you choose to go.
If he doesn't, why do we talk about the game? I mean, like, what's the point?
We talk about this for Tanner. Number. When you choose to go this route, I have been critical of the van tour. I've been like, you can just get on the phone and like market the traditional way. It's 2023. When you choose to go the van tour route, you better impress, baby. If you're gonna show up at someone's game store, you better shine like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond.
Bright like a diamond.
Yeah, Ring.
So I think that has to be the focus here. That has to be.
We'll talk about that next week. I have some takes on that.
Rihanna?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your take on Rihanna?
So Pepsi no longer is going to be the sponsor of the halftime show for the Super Bowl. So the rumor is that maybe Tay-Tay will be the headliner of the Super Bowl halftime next year.
Why does she hate Pepsi?
World tour.
Because it's either whoever owns it, either Coke owns the halftime show or Pepsi does, and Tay-Tay is sponsored by the other one.
Dude, a Taylor Swift halftime show would break the world.
Yeah.
People would not be going
I don't
to
know.
the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl. They would be going
They
for
never
the
are.
halftime.
I don't know.
They're not
My
going for the
wife
halftime show. Though.
My wife liked the halftime show this year. Like
I loved it.
this
I
year's
loved it.
halftime show broke the world. This year's halftime
This was
show
a great halftime show.
bonkers.
You know, the halftime show.
What was it?
Bonkers.
I am finally
Who
at
was
the
it?
age group where I like the halftime show.
Was this the Eminem one?
I'm finally old enough.
Was this the Eminem one?
This was Riri.
No, that was Riri.
Oh, I didn't like it.
You didn't like Princess Riri? Why?
I never liked the halftime show.
Katy Perry was great. 50 Cent was great.
I had
I
a
like-
huge crush on Katy Perry when I was younger. It was
That
like an
makes a lot of
embarrassing,
sense.
massive crush on Katy
The
Perry.
laugh, the left shark was GOAT, obviously.
Left shark.
And then she dated Travis McCoy, and I'm like, oh, she's into taller, kind of dirty looking
Who the hell's
guys. Like, this
Travis
is
McCoy?
great.
I'm sure she's into. I'm sure she's into you.
But she wasn't. But I got my wife, so
Do you know-
it worked out better for
do
me.
you
in
guys
the end.
know Froggy Fresh? He's got a lyric in his song that goes, "Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce. I think you're cute too."
And now you have that line on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What is going on with this?
So
What do you mean? Oh, if you're gonna do all the Tay talk, you better support this, dude.
I support this talk.
All right.
I don't know who Froggy Fresh is and why he's loving Beyonce.
Get with the
Fresh?
time. He's serialized.
Froggy Fresh and Moneymaker Mike, 2012. We back up in this. It's so funny to me how old you are, George.
You are really old.
Josh, do you know
Depressing.
Froggy Fresh?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you do. That was like the thing when we were in. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Just
Save
look it up.
yourself. Save
Just look it
yourself.
up. You can't unsee
You
it.
need to listen to The Greatest by
You
Froggy
know
Fresh.
you know that you
Oh my
can't unsee
God,
this.
what is this guy? What the hell are you guys listening? This is the problem with your generation.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's 100% fair.
That is a real criticism, and like we will accept it.
He was previously known as Krispy Kreme.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure Krispy Kreme took him down. And then it changed his name to Froggy Fresh.
you had
He
two
has
bites at
3
the
albums. What
Yeah,
are you
dude,
guys-
he goes
one of
on
them's the
tour.
same one.
I almost went and saw him on tour.
his
Okay.
tour was very much like the Cryptic tour. It was just a concert out of a van.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. All right, can we talk about Sorcery Curio cards?
You can try.
I would just want your guys' professional opinion as a professional TCG content creator in Josh.
Oh, now I'm a professional content creator. Oh, look at that.
and a very caring store owner who just knows so much about TCGs in George.
You want to be nice to me now? Kiss my butt, dude. Kiss my butt.
No.
Kiss my Froggy Fresh.
Okay, so you have in Sorcery a conversation that's happening. You have curio cards on one side.
This is conversation happening in Canada, right?
Yeah. And you have foil cards on the other side. Foil
Okay.
cards, very rare. You're talking
Very rare.
unique
It's a
foil
great
card.
box opening experience, I've heard.
know.
Unique. That's,
You
you
try
didn't
so
even, if
hard. I
you're gonna
love
make
you.
fun of me, do it right. Try again. Start over.
It's the best box opening experience you've ever had.
There you go. Thank you.
Sounds cryptic.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So
It's great because it's true. You said about both.
okay, I opened them at different points in my life. So what does that tell you?
It's been like it's like different points of your life. It's not like I was 12 and 40. It's like
You brought this on yourself at the end of the last podcast.
Yeah.
You said, I just want to talk about a game I like with my friends. And then you're going to throw insults all the way up to this point of the podcast and
I'm
expect
here. Listen, I'm here. I'm taking it all in.
I am all in.
fixed the insult. I fixed the insult. George screwed it up. His delivery all day. He's been practicing. I talked to him on the phone today. He's like, "I'm going to bring up 10 times today on the podcast that you said it was the best box opening experience of your life."
It was so
And then
awful.
he screwed up the delivery.
Every set.
I would
New TCG.
I would love to have an honest TCG
I'm in.
conversation with you, another professional who's almost as smart and good looking as I am about this TCG.
Great. Okay, so you have unique foil cards, which are about 250 of each, and you obviously have the the idea of like Philosopher's Stone is the Black Lotus of the game. As every indie TCG has all these things. You've got the Black
So it's
Lotus.
the soul ring of sorcery, basically.
You've got.
I heard it's more collectible.
Yeah, you've got then the cores, which are like the mocks, and then you have like the filter. They're calling them the something something 9, the alchematic 9 or alchemy 9. Okay, it's just like the power 9, but it's not magic, right? It's the whole thing. So
We just want to be magic so bad.
Yeah. That's every indie TCG does the same thing, right?
They don't want to be Pokemon. I noticed.
Fair. So you have
That is actually fair.
that's fair.
Go ahead.
So you have high-end cards that are going to be limited into like the 250 range of foils for the highest rarity, and then like I think it's like 375 or something like that for the next rarity. And then you have these curio cards, which aren't part of a set. You can't collect them all. There's not the Pokemon idea of collecting it all, but they're incredibly rare. I'm talking like I've opened 7 boxes. I haven't hit any curios. I've hit I think 4 unique foils. So what is worth more? The thing that a lot of people are going to be trying to collect, or something that doesn't have the multitude of people trying to collect, and it's just one of ones.
I will answer your question, but I do want to point out how much they missed this opportunity. They could have been sponsored by Curios, and they could have pulled the Curios in the Curios. And I think that was a marketing miss on their part.
What if they had alternate art curios and they were honey nut curios?
You're welcome, Eric. I'll take my payment later. So here's the hard part. There's two that you've left out 2 important pieces of information because you're bad at content.
Okay.
First, the curios are non-foil.
Yep.
Right away, my skeptical hat comes on pretty big. Like, people like foils.
Yep.
The other part you forgot to mention is that the curios come in vastly different flavors.
Yep.
The one you're showing me on the screen right now, the one that has 9 mini cards on it, I think would be the least desirable curio that I've seen pulled.
I agree. I saw this and I was like, oh, I hope that's not what all curios are. Like that was my reaction. Was like, it feels like a token.
That's my thought.
Yep.
So like, I think you could convince me some curios will be worth more than some foils.
Okay.
But overall, listen, baby, in the modern TCG world, foils win.
So you guys can't see the second one I'm showing because the screen share is not working right. I'm gonna
put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord.
Put it in the Discord. But the second one I think is something that I think will be really interesting. So this is one that was shared yesterday, I believe, and it's a card that on the bottom it says KS. I assume that means Kickstarter 2019. Full art, and then it's 25 of 300, and it's like it's like a pre-Kickstarter sample card, but pre-sample. Like the sample cards I received as like a content creator don't look anything like this. Like they are basically the same thing as the Kickstarter cards. These ones have like a different casting cost on the top left, or a different something cost on the top left. There's a whole mechanic within the card that's completely different from anything that's currently in Sorcery. And then on the bottom, it says it has like that full art tagline and the numbering and Kickstarter 2019. So it tells the history of the game. Like historically, if you look at this, you can make an argument that like the Kickstarter was meant to be in 2019. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see some takeaways about the game from that dimension.
And that's the Grim Tangle that you're showing us, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So let me go on the record here. I think that card should be worth the most. It will not be. There was another game that had a bunch of pre-alpha cards that were released, and I collected a set of them. And I thought these things were going to be like very highly sought after collectibles. They weren't. People wanted like the main set cards, and I think that's wild to me. But like even some like the early Magic samples aren't worth as much as like alpha cards.
Yeah.
But there's a major difference. If I'm understanding correctly,
I would rather have this. I think this is way cooler.
Correct me if I'm wrong, this Grim Tangle is, and maybe I missed it while I was looking over some of the details you were talking about, is pullable from a box, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think that is an important aspect of making something collectible. The idea that anyone that buys a box can put it in their hands. I think, George, the big difference there is you collected a set of like test print pre-alpha cards or whatever, but those weren't necessarily those didn't feel achievable, and things grow in collectability, they grow in community hype when it feels like you covet these things, you always try to open them, and then you never do. That's when you go back a year, 2 years, 5 years later, and you build your collection, you buy that piece you always wanted, right? It builds that hype. So I think this has that mystique going for it. The non-foil, I think it matters in every other scenario, Louis, except for the scenario you've painted for me with Cryptic. The scenario you've painted is people are going to covet collecting foils. Foils are special, but they are... Yeah, sorry, not Cryptic, Sorcery. Yes, the Sorcery story that you've painted is because people are going to covet and collect foils, but because foils are so rare, you've postulated to me that people will also collect play sets of the rare cards that are not foil because they're so limited. If that comes true, then I could see these being the hardcore chase that they were meant to be. If it doesn't, if people are still, I'm stuck in the flashy era, I'm all about foils, even with Sorcery, then I think these might suffer in the short term. In the long term, if Cryptic's around, for the long haul, I keep saying Cryptic. If Sorcery's around for the long haul, then it's anybody's guess, and these could see a real. I agree with Josh.
If Grand Archive is going to make the distance here,
I kept saying Cryptic. I meant
Clash
Sorcery.
is going to keep going strong.
How is this the first time you've talked about Grand Archive and Alpha Clash 2? We're an hour and 30 minutes and you failed miserably at your joke.
I love how much they're mooning. I love how much they're mooning. It makes me so happy.
Josh, I think that's a good take.
I feel so bad about the insult. You just agree with everything I say. No, this is wild.
I don't disagree with your take. My thought though is that these cards will be highly collectible in very specific situations. Like a card with art from it that everybody likes will be very, very valuable, and it will sell once and it will go into the hands of somebody who has X amount of dollars to spend, and it'll never see the light of day because there's never another one that gets pulled. The foils, you'll see I think the Philosopher's Stone foil just sold for like a ridiculous amount of money. Like, I know as a fact it was over 3K. I don't know what the end price was because I didn't buy it.
Very intelligent
I
buyer.
know that my offer was laughed at.
Smart.
I know that my offer was laughed at. And the high offer at the time was 3K, and I know it sold, and he told me it sold for significantly higher than what he had told me.
How come they don't make this stuff public? It seems very weird to me.
Sometimes the buyer doesn't want it to be.
The buyers
I would respect.
The buyers don't want it to because they want to buy more. That's what has been historically the case in other games in the past.
I mean, I make it a point to. I mean, we've talked about it. I'm buying a lot of Brothers War serialized cards every chance I get. I try not to talk about what I'm buying them for until we get into deal negotiations because I feel like I'm getting a great deal, and I don't want people to know what I'm getting a great deal on.
So like this Grim Tangle, for instance, if somebody likes Drew Tucker, which is a very sorcery thing to like have a favorite artist and that kind of thing, I could see this card for selling for more than your foil Philosopher's Stone, your foil kind of chase cards, as a result of there's only one of these, is my understanding. There's not another one of these that's going to get pulled. So if you want the card, if you're a high-end collector that has the money to spend on cards, you make a high offer so that nobody else can get it from you. So I don't know. It's interesting. I personally think I rather have the unique. Like I would trade if I pulled a curio card that people wanted, I would trade them to go towards or sell it to go towards getting a full set of the foils. Like are all
the curios one-ofs?
I believe so. I don't think we know that.
We don't know.
That's speculation.
Okay, yeah.
They are
banned.
They are incredibly hard to pull.
Sorry, dude.
Down to 9,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. You're gone.
I would guess that they are all one-ofs. So I don't know.
I think I'd rather have the curio. Any of them. I think if
you'd rather have the card on the screen right now.
Yeah, well, listen, I agree. It doesn't look like any chase card or something that any of us would covet that we've seen before. I see that. But if this truly is, if we're living in the world where Cryptic, aka Sorcery, is going to go the long haul, right, and it's going to really make the impact on the indie TCG community that we want to, I think to me, it's a much cooler piece to own 5 years from now.
Yeah.
That's just especially if there's
Comment
one
section,
of it.
The comment section, let us know what you think. Where do you value these things? How do you think that? And we will evaluate later. Okay, let's finish up. We're getting long. It's an hour and 40 minutes in. We are at the Flame Tower.
The merch. They had the merch. They had the whole package today.
It's crazy.
Look good.
Do they know where it is yet? Have they announced?
Who knows? They got the Fuego jerseys.
They have the spectator ticket plus merch bundle for sale.
I want the jersey. They get Lionel Messi in that thing. God, I'm great at collaborations. This podcast.
You just grab the most popular person in any given space and say, "This would be a great collab."
It is one of 3 soccer players I can name. Shout out to Mbappe.
That is a pretty cool jersey.
In Holland. You're welcome.
I think the playmat's really cool too. Can I just say that I love Metazoo playmats? Like,
you do love Metazoo playmats. You should put them on your wall behind you.
Yeah.
Obviously, go ahead and say this for you. I think that might be your future.
Look so cool. So this is a spectator ticket. There's no, its exact location is still to be announced in Texas.
A lot of Texas love lately. Lots of Texas love.
Though, not a area.
It's a small state, right? It's like, it's in that neighborhood. It's like, doesn't matter what part of Texas it is. It's in Texas.
Just get a ticket to Texas. You'll be fine, everyone.
God, it's gonna be in Brownsville. It's gonna be it's like 8 hours away from the next city. My cousin lives in Brownsville.
You also have to pick them up. They will not ship.
They won't ship them.
It says it right there. These will not ship. Pick up only at Flame Tower without the location of Flame Tower.
Why do indie TCGs do this? Why do they always announce events and just never tell you where they are? Why is that the thing?
I like that because it keeps you on your toes.
No, I don't like that. That's horrible.
You don't know?
I mean, it's questionable. It's great, and we respect and support you.
We are close enough now that they need to announce where the event is.
When is it?
It's in a month. It's in a month and 9 days. A month and 8 days.
We done been close enough, boys.
All we know is that it's in the biggest state other than Alaska.
Shout out to Alaska.
California? What's the biggest
not
state?
even close.
Really?
Texas is the second biggest.
Yeah. So I was right.
But it's funny because Alaska's way bigger than Texas.
Yeah, Alaska's basically the top.
Alaska, they could do an event in Alaska.
They should do the Flame Tower in Alaska.
Yes, they'll warm that sucker up.
Melt.
That could be their thing. They'll be like, we're bringing the heat to Alaska. Then they get icebergs melting on the jerseys. God.
So yeah. You get a plus.
The penguin's face melting.
They need to get the details out for this. They need to get the details out for it.
I just want the jersey. I want the Mbappe.
Louis, you win obvious take of the podcast.
What's going on? Why don't they have a venue?
I think they also need to disclose what barbecue they prefer at the venue.
Listen, we don't even know if the set's out.
If you're in Texas and you're eating barbecue, you're doing Texas wrong. You should just be eating Mexican food.
I mean,
you're going to get shot when you go to Texas now.
Mexican food is great in Texas. What you said was not false, but there is
true.
Yes, the part about Mexican food, it's fantastic.
That part's
You're
true.
doing it wrong.
No. Dude,
you go to
I spent 2 years.
What?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh.
I spent 2 years in Texas. You eat barbecue. You eat barbecue, my friend.
Texas barbecue is the best barbecue by a mile. It's and I say this as a very proud South Carolina.
I actually just came back from St. Louis last week too, and we had barbecue. Yes.
Did you go to what's that place in St. Louis that the barbecue's so good?
Did you have the ribs?
Sweet Fire?
No. I don't remember.
This is great.
I made
naming places.
I made some slow cooked, some smoked barbecue ribs this last weekend in my smoker out back.
Texas, though. I don't know. I don't think barbecue when I think Texas.
You don't think when you think Texas.
That follows.
There's
all right.
cows,
shout out to those of you who are going to the Flame Tower.
Churros and big women.
Some big old women in San Antonio.
Barbecue and 6 shooters. That's what you should think when you think Texas.
God, Texas barbecue is so amazing. It is.
Shout
so
out
good.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley needs to be a guest on this podcast.
Absolute
I
goat.
didn't
Come on,
notice
Chuck.
that
Other than
do it.
Tay.
at the
You know
bottom.
what?
Chuck,
we have way
No.
better odds of getting Charles Barkley in this podcast than Tay Tay.
If you would rather have Charles Barkley on this podcast or Taylor Swift than Charles Barkley on this podcast, no.
Absolutely not.
The Taylor
Charles Barkley would do so good on this
The
podcast.
Charles Barkley podcast the conversation would be insane, outrageous.
Best.
It would be amazing. The Taylor
Watching-
Swift interview would just be like,
I don't know.
and how do you like your tour? How is it? Is it going great? No,
Maybe that's your last breakup.
no. We
Much
would all
rather have
show up
Charles-
in
I'd
Yeah.
much rather have Charles Barkley.
we would show
Much
up in
rather.
steam
I'm on
steam
Team Taylor
towels,
Swift.
nothing else.
I'm on Team Taylor Swift.
You're
Watching George clam up while he talks to Taylor Swift and not know how to talk to her would be wonderful.
George, why are you so sweaty? I'm just so
Because I have no
nervous.
air conditioner. Screw you. I'm getting a new air conditioner tomorrow. I'm dying.
I finally got it in there. I finally
Dying.
got it in there. I
They're coming
waited
at
so
8 a.m.
long.
tomorrow. And they were like, oh, was that too early? I'm like, come at 3 a.m. Come now.
I'll
Don't
still be
leave.
awake because it's 1,000,000 degrees. And
Don't leave me.
all right,
Come
everyone.
now. Install it now. I'm dying.
This is the end of the podcast. You made it all this way. If you did, make sure you hit the like button.
And
hit
put in the
subscribe.
comment section if you'd rather have us invite Taylor Swift or Charles Barkley on next week.
Yeah. And then make
Charles
sure you go and subscribe to Josh's YouTube channel.
Get him at 10K so we can put Louis down.
to make so that I can feel better
There's-
about my terrible insults.
There's got to be 4,000 of you out there to catch me up to this bozo.
And go subscribe to George's OnlyFans. Don't do it. Stop. No.
This is the end of the podcast.
Come here,
May the zoo be with
Magikarp.
you.
Come here, Magikarp. I got you, Magikarp. Come here, Charmander.
Oh, too far.
Why
Too
did
far.
it get weird?
Why is
That's so
Charmander
weird.
too far?
I'm pretty sure that's too far. I'm pretty sure.
I
That's
think it's too far.
Everyone, be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video. May the zoo be with you.
Video?
And also with you.
Thank you.